Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the John and Ant Show. I'm Doughboy Douchebag.
This is the Ant-Man.
With, Alright,
I forgot what my nickname was, my new nickname.
We have Smackdown spoilers for today. Remember, if you don't want to listen to it, skip over it.
Isn't it the whole point of the show, though? So they're just going to skip this one?
I don't know.
Skip it? Because you know what? They can skip it.
If they want
because we're going to be talking about Bo Dallas.
Later on.
Clearly, Bo Dallas is the most important thing on this video. And I feel like our last video that we put up with Lord Tensei Train in the lingerie got those views because of the picture. And I feel like this is going to get no views because of the Bo Dallas picture.
I can't. It's nothing against him. It's just, I like Wade Barrett that much more.
No, I agree.
And it's so unfair. Like, there's no point in bringing him back and pushing him, giving him the title, to lose it to Bo Dallas.
Well, maybe if he loses it to Bo Dallas, then Wade Barrett can go for the title.
That's what I was thinking.
Hello.
No, hopefully, World Heavyweight Championship spot in Elimination Chambers.
Hopefully, but can you come back from losing to Bo Dallas? Somebody that's that much smaller
His
than you.
career will go down.
But
there is somebody else who could be making a comeback.
Well, I just want to say, I pointed that out to you before. There's going to be tonight. It's going to be on the main event, this Intercontinental Cup.
Yes,
but Bo Dallas beating Wade Barrett on Raw gets him a title shot.
Yeah.
You beat the champion in a non-title match. You're number one contender.
Yeah.
So there's no point.
Those rules don't apply anymore.
Yeah, but it's funny how that works though, because sometimes Orton beats Barrett, or let's say Sheamus.
True.
And they don't get title shots. Why? Because they're perceived as main eventers. But yet when someone lesser than them happens to beat Wade Barrett, they get an automatic. Well, no, they don't even get it. You know, it doesn't make sense really. It just, they don't follow their own rules.
Yeah, well, like more recently with the 10 count. For a couple weeks they were doing it where you can't break it, and then I think it was at the pay-per-view where it got broken a bunch of times.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that was happening.
I noticed that it happened. I was like, are you kidding?
You know what I want to happen one day is, you know how...
They follow their own rules.
Yeah, that would be nice.
That'd be nice.
But what I mean is, you know how they have those matches where both guys are knocked out and the ref is counting?
Yeah.
I just want them to both be counted out.
Yeah, it never happens.
Just because they always get up, and you wonder, that's not how a match is ever going to end.
Yeah.
Unless it's a last man standing match.
Yeah.
You know, why is the ref even doing that if it's not a last man standing match? But I guess we could get to the...
Yeah, we get to Smackdown spoilers. SmackDown opens up with Booker T and Teddy Long in the ring for the big world title announcement. Sheamus, Randy Orton, the Great Khali, Daniel Bryan, Kane, and Ziggler are also out as Elimination Chamber participants.
The Great Khali.
Yeah.
I can see those other guys.
The Great Khali.
We're going to get deeper into the spoilers in like a second in regards to one of the participants, but the Great Khali.
Yes.
Hey. He's a former champion.
It's true.
Ziggler interrupts.
And he needs another opportunity with the belt so he can hold it up the right way. Not upside down.
I thought it was interesting that he came back and hasn't been using the, I don't remember what the finisher was called. The vice grip.
Yeah.
He's
using
it
was a vice grip or it was
chop.
just a hand?
I think he's just there to be there.
He's using the chop now again.
Yeah.
I think he started using it when he first came in.
First at Raw, he was in this funny segment, and all of a sudden you're putting him in the world title hunt.
Well,
like there's nobody else on SmackDown.
Oh, we'll get to that in a second. Ziggler interrupts and isn't interested in all because he already has a guaranteed shot, which is true. He does have a guaranteed shot already. Booker makes Ziggler versus Del Rio for later tonight. Also, Team Hell No versus Sin Cara and Rey Mysterio. Yay!
Yeah,
and
your match of the night.
Shut up. Someone has made a return.
Yes, this is what I was referring to before. Someone whose career seemed to be down in the dumps.
Now he's back. Jack Swagger.
Swaganomics.
Returned.
Can't wait for him to swagger.
I'm excited.
And wanted in on the chamber match, but Booker says he has to earn it. So does everyone else tonight.
I think it's weird that they brought him back before Mania. Unless they're going to do something with him, there's no point.
Okay, here's my problem. They should have just minus the Great Khali out of that and just said Sheamus, Orton, Daniel Bryan, Kane, and Ziggler, then announced Jack Swagger. There's no reason to have the Great Khali.
Wait, is Del Rio in the match?
Most likely.
And if there's only 6 spots and he's not on there already, then he's not in the match. So it's a number 1 contenders match.
Yeah, I guess.
How unfair is that?
Yeah.
Putting the number 1 contender through all that.
That's not nice.
Alberto Del Rio is showing, looking for Big Show, and he's ready to fight. First match of the night, Sin Cara and Rey versus Team Hell No is up next. Mysterio and Cara get the win. But it was said to be a great tag team match.
How did they get the win?
I don't know.
I bet they pinned Daniel
Bryan. There's a diving headbutt.
Kane and Bryan argue after the match.
It's a diving headbutt, but I feel like that's not correct.
I really think we're seeing the end of Team Hell No.
I don't think that's correct. I don't think he's in the diving headbutt.
Maybe.
Are we seeing the end of Team Hell No?
That's the thing is, after Raw and after these spoilers...
We keep saying that. What were we saying?
I don't think there's any... I don't understand why
because they're arguing
they book
again.
the way they book people in the WWE.
Right.
Why have them go through all this celebration stuff and retain?
That's what I mean.
The next night,
you go back to arguing.
Have them start breaking up.
Right.
They just graduated and.
I mean, granted,
they're doing all this now.
Like I said on the last show, they're gonna be putting D-Bry and John Cena together.
Oh God.
But do they need Kane and Daniel Bryan to leave on bad terms?
I really think they should leave on good terms and go their separate ways. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, if they're really desperate to get Mysterio and Sin Cara the titles, just give it to them already. You don't want to give it to the primetime players. You don't want to give it to.
No. Yes, you do. Yes, you want to give it to the primetime.
You want to give it to the
Usos. That's what I want.
You want to give it to a team.
You want to give it to the brothers.
Okay, but what I was referring to,
brothers, not brothers as in
maybe not necessarily the primetime players, but a tag team, not 2 stars. That could potentially be the Usos. You have
the brothers.
brother.
Primetime players.
You still have Epico and Primo out there.
Yeah,
and they're former champions.
yeah, they're there.
So I mean the only thing
if we could somehow get an update on Hunico getting out of Mexico, you'd have Hunico and Camacho.
Yeah, well, yeah. You know, he's
been there for a while. I don't know if we want him back anymore.
Right.
Next, we get the Great Khali defeating. Oh boy.
It's a fluke.
Hold your breath there, buddy.
Yeah.
Jinder Mahal, Heath Slater, and Drew try to get involved, but.
See, they're friends. They're friends.
Hornswoggle stopped them.
Yeah.
Hornswoggle?
That's what I got up to. I was like, really?
This is why I have to see this. This is why I have to see this.
It's an abomination.
Hornswoggle.
I have to see this.
Hornswoggle.
I'm not saying anything until I see how he stopped him.
Hornswoggle.
Maybe he flashed him or something. Are you telling me that wouldn't stop you? Like,
I kind of just want to stop there for Smack. I think that's the low point of SmackDown. Going up a bit. Matt Striker interviews Del Rio outside. Del Rio is waiting with a baseball bat. Tells Striker he's just getting some fresh air. Yay! But I really don't want to.
Oh, so Matt Striker recovered from.
Yes,
okay, all right, from Ryback's.
I kind of don't want to go past those spoilers. I kind of don't want to read this anymore. This Hornswoggle thing has me. I'm done.
Yeah,
he's yay big.
I have to see this.
He's yay big and stops.
You know what he's just gonna like jump off of something.
Yeah.
You know, the standard thing.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm sorry for your pain, Ant-Man.
Nah.
I'm so sorry.
What can you do?
Teddy Long's backstage. Teddy Long, do the dance, yeah. Teddy Long tells Booker backstage that it was his idea to bring Jack Swagger back. See, yeah. Not a bad guy after all.
So he's gonna put him in a tag team.
Maybe.
He's gonna put him and Ziggler back together.
Cody Rhodes and Sandow come in. Booker books Sandow versus Sheamus tonight. We got the Raw recap.
This is basically a rematch of Raw.
Yeah, basically.
Which Sheamus won.
Without a table. We got a Raw recap. Yay!
Yeah, I love those.
We see Vince being stretchered out with the arena with Stephanie by.
I bet he had a neck brace.
Actually, no, he didn't.
He didn't have a neck brace.
No, pelvis.
No, because I've seen in the WWE, someone breaks their arm, they put a neck brace on.
Yes, they do. If you notice
if
that.
They get a beat down, no matter what happens, they put a neck brace on them. I'm very surprised that they didn't put one on Vince.
Sheamus and Sandow's up next. The Shield
interferes again. How do you know he didn't have a neck brace?
They showed a picture.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, the pictures are already up.
Well, I didn't
getting stretchered away.
Right. I'm sorry, the Shield attacked Sheamus?
Again.
Cool.
Nothing exciting.
This is what we were referring to on Monday. if Paul Heyman is behind this, why would he be having the Shield attack Sheamus?
That's the thing. I don't think they're...
Remember,
they're paid off by Heyman.
Paid off by Heyman.
I mean,
so he's not the leader.
Exclusively work for Heyman.
So it could still work. We said the reveal was lame on Monday, but there is still
hope. The thing that I didn't like was that it involved Punk.
Right, yeah.
There is hope.
So the storyline isn't completely dead yet. You know.
Yeah. Wade Barrett versus Orton is up next. Do we have to even know who wins?
I think we all
know. But still, hey, don't short sell the match.
Remember,
from what I read, it looked promising.
Right, and it's not.
I know, but it's Orton wins with an RKO. Yay!
What is he gonna win with? An overdrive?
He should.
Kick to the head.
This is his first finisher in WWE.
Well, this is where this is gonna sting, Rob. Barrett is being interviewed backstage.
Yeah, I know.
When he sees Bo Dallas, they brawl, and Barrett
gets
the upper hand.
What I don't understand is, from what I read, he sees Bo Dallas talking to a couple hot chicks. Mm-hmm. I don't know who these hot chicks are.
What's the problem with that?
They can't be divas.
Because he's got a distorted face.
I don't want to say distorted, but...
Not an okay-looking face?
He's an odd-looking character.
He's definitely different looking. But, no, just...
Well,
is that the gimmick he's going to have? He's the pretty boy?
I guess so. It looks like it.
Didn't we have a pretty boy, sexy boy already?
We have a pretty boy, and it's...
Yeah, you're right.
We had a sexy boy already.
Rico. Right? That's who you're talking about.
Rico Constantino?
No.
You're talking about Rico.
No, I think
Viscera, right? They're talking about Viscera.
God.
The Visagra.
Okay, next match. Swagger versus Kofi.
Well, wait, did they show... Did you get up to the part where they show a recap of the travesty that happened on Raw?
Oh, no, it doesn't say on the site I'm on. It just says spoilers.
They had the recap from what happened with Bo Dallas and Wade Barrett.
Maybe on what he was looking at, but not on the one I'm looking at.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sandman does better research. High five.
Well, I went to college first, so it's not like...
I went to college to learn how to research.
Just going on the site that I know about.
High 10.
This is why I did not announce you in the beginning of the show, okay?
Because we forgot what my new nickname was.
No, I just don't want to announce you.
What was their name? Real American, was it?
Oh, I was right.
Oh, he's a Real American now. Swagger versus Kofi's up next. A good back and forth match. Swagger got the one with the ankle lock.
See, I was really
it says
interested.
it on there?
Yep.
Alright.
Really interesting to see whether Swagger will continue to be a heel.
But
because Kofi seems to be like in that place where you can put anybody against him.
And he loses.
You know? Yeah, well, and yeah.
Which is lame, because he puts on the good match and still loses regardless. It's almost like he's on par with Dolph Ziggler, but not...
Not even Money in the Bank, yeah.
No, I know this is very off the subject, but what happened to R-Truth?
She's, I don't know. Maybe Little Jimmy rubbed off on him and...
He disappeared?
We just can't see him. Yeah. Or maybe he just might be doing Be a Star stuff.
Maybe.
You know?
Maybe.
Because that's what Ted DiBiase's been doing the entire time. I wonder where he was and if he was still employed. And apparently that's what he's been doing with his time.
Yeah, you're
Despite the fact that Legacy bullied everyone around, so...
Yeah.
Del Rio is outside.
And each other.
Yeah. They turned on each other.
Yeah.
Del Rio is outside as Big Show's tour bus arrives. Del Rio attacks him as he gets out. They end up fighting on top of the car. Del Rio chases Show, but he jumps into another car and drives away.
Wait, so he couldn't catch up to the Big Show?
No.
What did he trip or something?
I don't know. What did he trip? Next we get Del Rio versus Ziggler. Do we all know who wins this match?
I think we should hear it.
Yeah, I'd like to hear it. It's tough. It's tough.
Dolph Ziggler wins! I'm just kidding. We know he loses.
You know... I don't even know.
It's just getting ridiculous.
At this point, it doesn't even bother me anymore. At first, it was bothering me a little bit.
You accepted it like John Cena winning?
Yeah, it's the reverse.
Ziggler losing.
But like I said on the last show, they do this thing every time with the Money in the Bank people, where they just lose.
Right.
And lose and lose and lose until they cash in.
So what happens when they have one that wins and loses Money in the Bank?
The only one they didn't do that to was Rob Van Dam.
Was that the case?
Yeah, because he announced that he was going to go up against Cena at One Night Stand.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good point.
That's true.
I'm pretty sure that's the only one they didn't do that to.
Next we get Big Show is backstage, and he has Ricardo Rodriguez held hostage. Oh, man.
Oh, my goodness. No.
Dun,
No.
dun, dun.
Del Rio runs to the back, but Show knocks out Ricardo. Aw, poor Ricardo. Why is he the one getting picked on now?
He's just there. That's what they're using him for.
This is not fair.
I get the feeling, though, that a certain masked wrestler is going to avenge Ricardo. We'll see.
So that's pretty much
No,
the
not Rey
SmackDown
Mysterio.
spoilers.
Not Sin
Not
Cara.
Sin Cara either.
Not Sin Cara. That ends SmackDown, by the way.
That was fast.
It's watchable.
I'm certainly going to watch it. From what I read, it seemed really...
I like to see Jack Swagger, you know?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see.
It's about time, too.
It's too bad because I would have liked to see if he had a new look. Maybe he still does.
Yeah.
I mean...
But I'm watching to see.
I think if he had a new look, it would say it.
Yeah, probably. But my main reason for watching SmackDown is I want to see the girls Bo Dallas was hanging out with.
That's what I said. I want to see. I
bet they're taller than him.
The Orton Barrett
match. Yeah.
Even though obviously we know who's going to win, I still want to see it.
So I would say take a look at SmackDown this week.
I'm certainly watching.
It looks good.
It hasn't been the last 2 weeks. We're like, don't watch it. Yeah. Even though we're gonna watch it, don't watch it.
Yeah, I actually watched it last week.
We're gonna watch it. It's gonna be horrible.
I watch them every week.
It's gonna be the reverse.
Yeah.
Yeah. We get suckered in.
Breaking news happened. People want to know why the Undertaker hasn't returned yet.
Oh wait, I got breaking news too. I think mine.
I know John sucks for the third day.
How do
in
you?
a row.
What sources are you looking at? Because
I know.
No, that's yesterday's breaking news.
Yeah, but still breaking news.
Today's breaking news.
Reigning 3-day reign of suckitude.
No, I know by me. Okay.
John, it's
Okay.
It's amazing. I want to know what you're paying my source off because.
You know what I'm gonna do for one day when it's like John is a douche appreciation day. I'm gonna get that picture from your Facebook page where it's just like your head.
Oh, thanks.
That'll be the YouTube picture.
Thanks.
John's a douchebag.
Yeah. Thanks.
I'll get your approval.
You guys are great co-host.
We try.
Hence the word co-host.
That should be our logo.
There was talks there were talks on Monday Night Raw for one of the reasons the Undertaker didn't make an appearance at the Raw because he's not sure that he will work WrestleMania 29.
Because he's too beat up. I don't know why people are pushing so hard for it.
The plan.
It was an end of an era.
Yeah,
you can't really walk around normally anymore.
No. The plan, as of right now...
Just be happy with what you've had already.
The plan for right now is him to wrestle CM Punk, but WWE officials are still waiting on Taker's decision. There's a feeling among some within WWE that Taker will end up wrestling, but the decision at Raw was that may have come up with another WrestleMania storyline for Punk.
Interesting.
Lame.
Well, I say interesting, not good.
Lame.
Could be interesting.
So what do you do with Punk then?
I really don't know. You throw him into a triple threat with The Rock and Cena.
I think that's what you have to do.
That's the solution.
I mean, the way that Cena pointed out The Rock, whoever becomes champion, The Rock or Punk.
Yeah, I didn't point out. I didn't point out that Cena had a corny promo Monday. I'm losing track of my days here. But he did mention CM Punk, The Rock by name, as two possible contenders. If Undertaker can't work his match, just have him face both contenders. One would be the champion, the other one would be the... I just feel I felt it was kind of a mistake to have CM Punk out of the title picture at WrestleMania because, again, he's been champion for over 400 days.
Yeah.
So...
They really should have him drop it at Elimination Chamber.
Right. So why not have Punk still involved with the title? At least the last time he's involved with the title in this storyline at WrestleMania. I figure WrestleMania it's an opportunity to begin feuds and end feuds.
Mm-hmm.
And I figure that's the way you could possibly have Cena get his revenge on both The Rock and CM Punk.
That's true. Overcoming both of them?
Yeah. Because that's he pointed that out. He basically
6 times, lost 6 times.
Right. So I feel it's a good opportunity. You know, people would like. I would think there's a lot of people who still want
I think
Punk.
there would be a couple people not happy with it.
Right.
However, it seems the cleanest option is just to have a triple threat match.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean that was my that was my first proposal, if you remember.
Yeah, I remember.
Because I was saying. I can't look at this.
You guys are jerks, man.
That should be the new default picture.
You guys are horrible.
This is a terrible decision because I can't get the image out of my head now. All right. I really do think that if that's the only other place you could put Punk, it really is. Don't have him. You can't have Punk in anything less than a title match if it's not going to be against the Undertaker.
Yeah, you're right. Also, that you were right. The Elimination Chamber is a #1 contender spot.
That's so weird.
That is so lame.
It's weird and it's lame.
Well, so that just verifies pretty much that Del Rio is going to retain. Because if he doesn't, and Big Show gets the title back,
yeah,
Del Rio's #1 contender.
Yeah,
again.
they got to get Big.
But why is the Great Khali in it?
They just want
they
a big
needed
guy.
a spot.
That's what he's in there for.
They needed a spot. Because there's absolutely nobody else. Wait, Barrett, wait.
Bo Dallas.
Stop it. You're pushing it.
You're pushing it. You're pushing it, man.
You're pushing me, and I don't like to be pushed.
I don't like this at all. Like, this is stupid. It's really stupid. Not even the WWE title's in the chamber. The World Heavyweight title's not in the chamber.
That doesn't bother me, actually. Because
there's not even a Raw chamber match. It's just SmackDown.
They'll have it.
No.
They'll have one.
No way.
I
yes.
wonder. No.
Then what do you put it for then?
I think they are going to do just one.
They could do.
For all we know, this could be.
They could do the first tag team elimination chamber match.
Well, that's what I know they're
Shield versus whoever.
That's the Shield versus either Ryback, Cena, and Sheamus.
Okay.
Isn't Sheamus in the elimination chamber though? He's in the SmackDown one.
That would be out of the question. Unless he loses, because I know
and
that
Orton's in it, right?
And you have to earn your spot. So if he loses,
who are the names you mentioned for the Elimination Chamber match?
Ziggler, but he already said he's out.
Yeah, Ziggler's out because he's Money in the Bank champ.
Swagger, Bryan, Kane, Sheamus, Orton, Great Khali, and that's it.
I would think Khali's gonna be not in.
Yeah,
I think they just put his name there.
They'll take him out.
Because again, you need a space for
if
Del Rio.
If Barrett does drop the title, he could be in it.
Right. I would figure that Jack Swagger's gonna be in it too.
Yeah.
So I don't think Khali will end up in it, even though they mentioned him. I think they just mentioned his name for the sake of mentioning it.
The only problem is out of those, since it pretty much, like I said, verifies that Del Rio's going to win at Elimination Chamber, who do you put him up against? Who's going to go up against Del Rio at Mania? Out of those 6 guys?
I don't know. Well, I would figure that if Del Rio does lose Elimination Chamber match, which he will, if they're going to set up the match.
You think it'll be Sheamus again? Sheamus Del Rio?
That's what everybody wants. No, what I mean is, oh my gosh, I just lost my train of thought again.
Swaggered.
No, that's
different. It's different.
Oh, it's different.
What was I saying?
Someone interrupts you.
I feel like Swagger. All right. Here's what I was saying was that Del Rio has to lose twice between Elimination Chamber and WrestleMania.
Oh.
Whoops.
Breaking news.
Breaking news.
No. What I'm saying is because again, according to those rumored matches, which appear to be legit, as we near WrestleMania, no, they seem to be. They are setting up Brock Lesnar, Triple H. It's got to be because you don't approve in the matches. By the way, this is Rob doing this.
Yes.
It's not like that's his Rob doesn't approve noise.
Doesn't approve.
No, but it seems
like
like
a face. I just smile all the time.
It just seems like some of those matches are getting legit. You know, as we get closer, things can change. Like Rob always says,
they could.
Card subject to change.
Card subject to change.
True.
And one of those changes could already be Punk moving over to a triple threat match,
which would be nice.
Because
who wants to see Cena Rock too?
I think it'll be a good.
A lot of people. I don't know why you say that. A lot of people want to see Cena Rock too.
No, there are people out there.
You're one person though.
There are plenty of people.
There's plenty of people.
No, I'm saying there's plenty of people out there, but I'm one of them who doesn't want to see it again.
My problem is.
Do you guys really want to see it again?
I want to see it again because I know that John Cena's gonna win. Honestly, that's really sad. Is that I just want to see it so it'll get over with, so we can see the third one and end it.
Yeah.
Because that's where it's at. Like, I just want to get to the end already.
That it's going to a third one.
I just can't imagine it being.
Look, we don't know The Rock's not back.
NXT wrestler gets injured.
What?
CJ Parker.
Yeah.
Okay.
He wasn't doing anything really. Not like I don't like the guy or anything. He's got some crazy hair.
Crazy hair.
Yes, that's gonna be the draw for him. But He wasn't doing anything.
Okay, I just wanted to put that in there because you're the NXT guy for the show.
He's the NXT guy.
Let's move over to that other company called TNA, shall we?
Shall we? Yes. Yes, we shall.
They've had their tapings up for the next month, which I think is ridiculous.
That is ridiculous. Yeah. This is for tomorrow, actually. We get Kurt Angle beat Mr. Anderson in a steel cage match. 2 Aces and Eights members attacked Angle after the match, and we get
but they said who it was.
Yes.
Or is that later on?
No, it started with the top, but I guess this ends it pretty much.
I mean, who the 2 Aces and Eights members are.
Yeah, and they're 2 of the biggest names of all time.
Yeah.
Should we say them or?
Yeah, if it says it on there, why not?
Garrett Bischoff and Wes Briscoe.
Exactly.
I don't even know.
Synonymous with the word.
I don't even know who these 2 guys are.
Well, I know Garrett Bischoff is.
The 2 last names.
Is that his real son?
Yeah.
Wasn't he a ref?
Yep.
Okay.
Joseph Parks defeated Robbie E.
Well, that transitioned well. I thought we were going to still talk about it.
Me too. I was getting all excited.
Not much to
talk
Joseph
about. Joseph Parks? Aces and Eights?
Like, just when you think you couldn't be any more underwhelmed by a new Aces and Eights member, it has. You get 2 more that you just don't even care about.
No, just go, skip right along. Joseph Parks defeated Robbie E. Yay! Austin Aries with Bobby Roode defeated Chavo. The stipulation was...
Who's Bobby Roode?
Oh, Bobby Roode.
Yeah, that's why.
Oh, okay. The stipulation was if Roode won, he would get a TNA Tag Team title shot.
Mm-hmm.
Bully Ray and Brooke Hogan request Hulk Hogan lifts the suspension and ring set, and they're in the ring. Sting comes out and supports it, and Hogan reinstates Ray. Yay!
Because Hogan always does the right thing.
Yes, Hogan does the right thing.
For the business and his family.
That's right.
Next we have Velvet Sky and James Storm beat Tara.
Well, hold on. Before we do any more spoilers.
Uh-oh.
Because this has sort of been in the news section in regards to Hulk Hogan.
Uh-oh.
He tweeted a picture of his daughter.
I heard about this, but I didn't check it out.
All right.
Of her legs.
He tweeted a picture of her legs, and it just says something like legs.
Right.
Or something like that. There's nothing that weird about it.
Right.
He's done weirder stuff.
Yes.
But she's sitting there on a chair, whatever, they're backstage, takes the picture, tweets it.
Right.
I don't know what everyone's so upset about. It's not like those pictures that everybody saw where he was lotioning her up.
Yeah.
That was kind of weird. That was pushing it.
Well, he's just helping his daughter put sunscreen on. That's all.
Yeah, I understand that.
No. In all seriousness,
it looks creepy.
It does.
But in this picture, she's just sitting there. Yeah, she has clothes on. Everybody's.
I don't know. I just think this is way off topic, but society has perverted simple things these days.
Yeah.
Like a parent, it used to be a day where you could take a picture of, let's say, your newborn kid taking a shower.
Yeah.
And now if you do that and you post it on Facebook...
Like washing them in a sink.
Now if you do that, it's nudity.
Yeah, it's
you're
weird.
Perverted and all this stuff.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Because, this thing that society has
and just, for the general consensus is that Brooke Hogan is attractive.
Okay.
So I figure that's the problem. Like, if she was...
An Uggo.
She
was a barfer.
And he was doing that, people wouldn't second guess it.
Yeah.
But since,
she's attractive. Alright.
So I figured
But I just wanted to put that out there because...
Yeah, I don't
I couldn't imagine that I'm the only one that didn't have a problem with it.
I'm going to have to bring that up because, again, I didn't check it out yet, so...
Yeah.
We get Velvet Sky and James Storm beat Tara and Jesse Gordez.
Oh, that's the guy that was on the reality show, right?
And I guess we get Rob Van Dam defeated Zima Ion and Kenny King in a 3-way.
I keep hearing Kenny King and Zima with the X Division, and I'm just wondering, are these the only 2 guys apparently in the X Division that matter right now?
I think so.
Because for the past 2-3 weeks, I've been really excited about the X Division because I hadn't watched much of TNA. But then, I'm watching these 2 editions, and now we're going on to a 3rd one. And again, it's Kenny King and Zima Ion for, whatever reason. Do they have any other X Division wrestlers? Because I thought this was supposed to be a big division on their part.
Yeah.
And I don't get it.
Yeah.
I would like to see other people compete.
Definitely.
So,
But
can we stop getting Kenny King and Zima Ion and get other
Even
people
if
in
their
the ring
matches
there?
are entertaining.
Yes.
It's just
Yeah, it's
all
not
the
against
time.
them. It's not against them.
It's like Orton and Antonio.
Right.
all the time. Not all the time, but we've seen it 2 weeks in a row now. Main event and Raw. Right?
Right. Basically.
These are for February 7th, 2013.
Well, he just saw the picture.
Yeah, I just saw the Brooke picture. I don't see a problem with it.
I don't see a problem
I
either.
really don't. I mean, it's not like there's anything inappropriate in it or anything.
No.
February 7th, Impact in London. Yay!
Well, so was the other one. All the spoilers
this
are
is
from
London? Oh, okay.
London.
We get.
But
British-
should we do all the spoilers?
No, we're gonna do just.
Because
this one and
there's
that's
4
it.
spoilers. It's a whole month of spoilers.
No, we're just gonna do.
We may not have anything else to talk about.
We're gonna do this one today. We're gonna do these 2 today, and then the other 2 tomorrow.
Well, what about next week? And what are we going to talk about?
We'll have stuff to talk about next week. No worries.
I'm not worried.
I know. Don't worry.
I'm not worried. I don't worry about stuff.
We got the British British boot camp winner Rockstar. Thanks to you UK fans. Rockstar. Anyone heard of him?
I don't think that's his name. I think that they're saying he's a rock star.
Oh. Okay. He thanks UK fans, but is interrupted by Robbie E.
No, okay.
Rock beats him down before dancing with Robbie T.
Because Robbie
T is the big one?
Yeah, he's English.
Okay.
So that makes sense.
Robbie E.
Yay!
Okay.
What?
The smaller one, Robbie T's the bigger one.
What?
What?
Wow.
What?
Austin Aries and Bobby Roode defeated Chavo Guerrero and Hernandez to win the tag team titles.
Well, you must have skipped the spoiler, because there was something that happened before that.
What is
It
that?
wasn't just, they have a match. I think Aries beat Chavo or something. And
Yeah, that happened on the 31st to earn the title.
You said that?
Yeah.
I must have not heard you say it.
It's okay. Yay, I guess.
That's what they do. They get these tags.
I guess they're out of the title picture.
Storm defeated Jesse Gordez. Samoa Joe defeated Daniels. That's one match I like to see. We have an Aces and Eights in-ring promo.
Yeah, is Taz wearing that plaid shirt again?
I want to see him wear the tux again. Wes Briscoe calls out Kurt Angle and cuts a promo on him. Bully Ray and Sting defeated Aces and Eights in a tables match when Bully put Devon through a table. After the match, Brooke and Hulk Hogan come out to celebrate with Ray and Sting. Yay!
Just Sting, just being there. Why?
Apparently Sting got like the biggest pop of the night or something.
If
I
he
think
did,
I read that.
Yay! But those are 2 weeks of TNA, and right now they look really lame.
Well, again,
They almost look copy and paste.
on paper,
Well, not really.
usually things look lame, but it could be. For all we could. I'm still gonna check them out.
What's interesting is they have a pretty good sized roster that they're not using.
They're not, and that's what upsets me about the X division.
Well,
they keep using the
they
same
were
freaking.
one time
two
they were
guys.
pushing Matt Morgan, and all of a sudden,
The blueprint.
nowhere to be found now.
Yeah.
Oh,
The
the heck
DNA
with
of TNA.
The heck with this. We have to go to the next week's
His
spoilers.
DNA's in outer space.
There has to be a good spoiler out of one of these we could watch or get ready for. These are the 14th.
Get ready as in sit down and watch it.
Yeah, February 14th.
Are you reading more spoilers from
Yes,
TNA?
the heck with
Didn't
TNA.
you just say that we weren't going to do that?
Well, I was disappointed in the last one, so I hope there's a good one.
Wait, what is this? We got a top 10 finishers list.
Oh, we'll get to that in a second.
Oh, John, you're ruining this.
All right. We'll do it.
You know, do feuds for it.
We'll talk
My
about
feuds
the
list is really
spoilers.
short.
We'll talk about the other spoilers tomorrow. No biggie.
Tomorrow we're talking about main events.
No Big E.
No Big E. No Big E. What's the E stand for?
That's got to be a phrase for him.
What?
For Big E Langston, he's got to be.
No
He's got to
Big E.
start saying no Big E.
No Big E.
I just love puns.
That'll be his
his
catchphrase. Everybody needs a catchphrase.
No Biggie. He can pull anything off. He can say anything, and it'll be cool. You just gotta stop wearing those really short.
Yeah, I don't know what that's about.
Biggie, please. We know you have tree trunk-like thighs.
Yeah.
So please just cover them up.
So a few weeks ago, we started a top 10 of our own. We had a top 10 best and worst gimmick matches.
And gimmicks.
And gimmicks.
King Booker was the best.
Stop it. Stop it.
By far.
Stop it.
You know, I always do this thing where if someone tells me to stop it, I just keep going.
You gotta keep going. That's me too.
So this week...
Don't do it? What? I'm totally on it.
This week we're going to do top 10 feuds and top 10 finishers.
Right.
And of course, I just want to put this out there. I didn't complete my lists.
You completed one though.
I didn't. Oh, yes I did. Okay, yeah.
Yay! So, who wants to get this?
But I don't have it in a top 10 order.
No, that's fine. That's fine. We're going to do top 10 finishers, and Rob, we'll start with you.
Alright, I know that a lot of us have a couple of the same. I'm going to try to pick one that we didn't agree on.
Right.
Well, you start already.
Nothing inappropriate.
There's a lot of them are the same, so I have to look through mine and make sure they don't say one that someone else has.
Okay.
I'm going to say, and it came down between, this is basically the spear.
Okay.
It came down because I quickly thought no to Edge.
Yeah, definitely.
His wasn't that impactful, ever. I had to think a little harder about Goldberg or Rhino.
Right.
And for me, it came down to Rhino. I just liked seeing his better.
Right. Is it me or does Rhino not like he doesn't wrap his arms around the guy when he does his, right?
Well, it seems like
because I know Goldberg
goes straight down.
Right.
He hits you, you're on the ground. Whereas Rhino kind of just throws himself at you.
Right.
And you're in the air for a little bit.
Yeah. Goldberg's is just a straight up tackle.
Yes.
That's what it is. Because apparently what happened was Goldberg didn't have a finisher yet. He was just thrown out into a match, and somebody said, "Do something impactful."
Yeah.
And he did a spear and it worked.
Player.
Right.
I'm a football player.
And you just played your strength.
Yeah.
I think it was a good idea, and he does it great. I do see why you tend to like Rhinos more because it does have. How can I put it? Seems to. The person on the receiving end seems to bounce off of Rhino.
Yeah.
And as a result, it seems more impactful or something. But yeah, those would be the two best ones. Definitely. The other people who have used the spear, like Edge.
Yeah. Or Bo Dallas.
Bo Dallas. Or Caitlyn. Caitlyn's doing the spear now.
And hers isn't good either.
It's not good. And other ones, Batista's had it. Bobby Lashley's had it, and obviously,
but not as finishers, really.
No, not as big. They used it when they were facing
Big
someone.
Show has even done it, and his doesn't look that devastating.
It's funny because you would think these big guys would have good-looking spears.
Yeah,
but they were.
That's the problem. How many finishers can you have?
Yeah, exactly. So,
am I going through my whole list? All right.
Yeah.
Again, not in any order. I put in the 450.
JG.
JG is 450.
Because you're a JG fan.
Justin Gabriel.
Well, the 450, I'm not saying that I can do it. Obviously, I can do a moonsault, but I can't do a 450. But some people that have that in their repertoire, theirs don't look that good.
Right.
No, but JG just looks very.
He does it perfect every time.
He does it perfect.
Kenny King did it, or was it Zima Ion? I couldn't tell, to be fair, because they changed camera angles when I saw it.
I think it was Zima. I think Zima tried to do it.
But JG's just sticks out.
Right.
I mean, he's current, so
right.
He looks really good.
And he had a run where he did it every week.
Yes.
He did it every week.
Multiple times.
He nailed it every time.
And he sells it.
Yeah.
Not everybody else sells their own finisher. So that's on there. Maybe we'll just do top rope first.
The top rope finishers?
Yeah. You got the frog splash.
Okay.
And, I don't know, we saw a couple clips on here.
Or well, which one? You have
that was the thing. I settled on Eddie Guerrero's.
Okay.
Just because I liked when Eddie did it, his whole setup and everything. But Rob Van Dam, I don't want to cut his short. I mean, I don't want to...
Awesome.
His was good. He could hit that almost anywhere.
Right.
And he would also sell his own finisher.
He did, yeah. He did.
So...
Obviously, it's the most...
Even though I wanted to tribute it to Eddie, I might have to say Rob Van Dam's was better.
Right. No, he did sell it better. He like bounced off the guy every time he did it. And obviously his most effective one was the one to Triple H, where his knee connected to Triple H's neck. And apparently made it hard for him to breathe for the rest of the match. But, I agree with you. Rob Van Dam's that's why it's called a 5-star.
Yes.
5-star.
Not just a frog splash.
And that's why nobody gets higher than RVD, because he can jump really high.
But what about the
that's the
tadpole
only
splash?
Stop it.
Let's not talk about that.
Or Rey Mysterio's splash.
Hey,
Well, that's not
2 members of the 3MB.
There's a difference between a body press and a frog splash.
Right.
Continue.
This guy. This is in no particular order. This guy has effectively gotten rid of Evan Bourne.
Mm-hmm. Or
because
will. Yeah, he will.
He was.
Or maybe
once he gets
has.
called up, yeah. Adrian Neville's corkscrew shooting star press.
Right.
All pun intended, he's added a twist to the shooting star press.
He has.
Negating any reason to have Evan Bourne.
Pretty much.
Other than to continue the job when he comes back.
Yes. Yes. No, Adrian Neville is like I did see
You're in love with
NXT.
him now.
NXT.
Yes, you're in love with
For
him.
those of you who haven't seen NXT, this guy is worth it.
Yes.
Just put him
only
out there.
The 2 matches, but
you need to Google or YouTube Adrian Neville corkscrew shooting star. You have to see this.
Yes.
That's sweet.
He's in love. He put this on his list and he wanted to advertise for him.
Yeah, I was gonna put him higher on my list, but I felt like okay, he's not established yet, and it does take him a little bit of time to balance on the ropes.
I think that's to sell though, because the ref was counting the 5.
Okay.
Because in his tag match, it didn't take him quite as long.
All right, but again, this is we're not putting this on the list just for advertisement.
Yeah.
It's really that good.
We appreciate it that much.
Yeah.
This last diving one that I have on here, Macho Man's diving elbow drop.
I love that diving elbow drop.
Yes.
This list I also made thinking of when I was a kid, if I were a wrestler, what moves would I want?
Yeah.
What moves would I be okay with having as a finisher? And just the diving elbow drop.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a kid, you see that? I mean,
it's one of the,
without seeing the corkscrew shooting star.
Yeah, yeah. That was the day where nobody really saw that.
You see that? You're just in awe.
Yeah. Oh, come on. Every kid wanted to drive off the top rope.
Yeah.
So.
This is my only submission on here. And John asked me, he's like, "Oh, you have this move on? Is this on your list?" I'm like, "Hell no." I use profanity, but I'm not going to do that. F no. I have the Lion Tamer.
Okay.
I don't want any Walls of Jericho BS.
Big difference.
Yeah, nobody taps to the walls.
Because they don't hurt.
Yes.
There's a very big difference between the way they look.
It's somebody sitting on your butt.
Yeah.
You put on the Lion Tamer.
You're done.
The knee to the back of the head, neck area. It's over.
You turn him into a pretzel, yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
And he did it at the Royal Rumble. It was awesome.
Yeah,
yep.
he did. And whoever he was doing it to would have tapped if it was...
If they were able to.
Match, yeah.
For the match, Ziggler again?
It's my only tag team finisher as top finishers, and it's the Dudley Death Drop.
Yes.
Just because any video you see of that, it's just impactful.
It's awesome.
Did they do it to Mae Young once?
Yes.
They did.
They did.
Through a table, I think.
Through a table. And they powerbombed her through a table.
I remember that one.
I remember that one.
Again, no particular order, because I know the one I'm going to say last, if you heard it on the list, you'd say, that's your number one. It's not my number one. I just want to say it last.
Okay, that's fine.
But we're not there yet. Razor's Edge.
Yes.
I like to distinguish these finishers between other people using the same exact move, basically.
Right.
This isn't the high cross, or whatever the hell
the Celtic cross.
The Celtic cross. This is the Razor's Edge.
Right.
Razor Ramon.
Razor Ramon.
The crucifix powerbomb.
Mm-hmm.
Devastating.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, if you
I would say so.
Yeah.
One of the cool moves in the '90s. So
again, it depends. It's
right now it depends on who
a lot
does
of
it.
What sells it is.
No, I'm saying Razor Ramon.
Razor Ramon.
Oh, definitely. Don't get me wrong.
Yes, this also includes Outsider's Edge.
Yes.
Yes.
Because the same guy.
Yeah.
Same guy.
It's
No,
the same
that's
guy,
Scott
same
Hall.
move.
Razor Ramon
Same
and
guy,
Scott
same
Hall
move.
are different, okay? Razor was cool. Scott Hall is a drunk.
How dare you?
They're two different people.
Next up, second to last, the sweet chin music.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I also like moves that, you can hit out of nowhere.
That's
it's not
one you
so
can.
predictable. As long as he can reach the guy's face, you can hit this move.
You're gold.
No matter where he is. Shelton Benjamin.
That was awesome. That's like
relatively
my favorite
famous
super
one.
kick on for HBK. I love that super kick.
I don't know, is
Shelton,
there anything
though.
else you want to say, add to it?
To the sweet chin music?
Yeah.
Well, it's a move that I also have on my list.
Yeah. It's almost something you don't need to describe. You
Right.
say sweet chin music, everyone knows what you're talking about.
Right. It's a perfect finisher for one of those fast-paced matches.
Yeah.
And it just brings that much more of a sudden death feel to matches, I guess, because the guy can whip it out of nowhere. I know that the rule in WWE is you can't use your finisher in a pay-per-view 5 minutes in.
Well, he did it. Triple threat match against John Cena with Triple
Triple
H.
H.
Triple H.
Super kicked him right out of the ring.
And that Monday night, what was that for?
Yeah. Was that
Well, it was the title.
That was the one where it was a triple threat DX versus
John Cena.
right?
For the title.
And guess who won?
Next. Okay. So last, not most, certainly not least, the clothesline from hell.
Yes. Also,
let me tell you, we've seen regular clotheslines and stuff like that. JBL put a whole new level to the clothesline.
Yes, JBL /
He
Bradshaw.
knocked
Yeah, I want to say Bradshaw specifically.
effing head off.
Yes.
But there seems to be two variations of the clothesline from hell. There's the one where he's Irish whipping you, but he hangs on to you and he brings you back to him and he does the clothesline.
Yeah.
Well,
this is not the one we're talking about.
No.
We're talking about the one where he just sprints to the rope.
Yeah.
Bounces off of it and comes at you, and just
full force,
100 miles an hour,
rips your head off, and it's awesome.
That's the true clothesline from hell.
It is.
And we thank JBL for bringing that to WWE.
Yeah.
And it was a variation.
I'd love to see him do it again one day.
Yeah.
Just that awesome.
Like I said, you have that regular stupid clothesline, but he just brought that.
And again, it's another one. It's another one of those.
Another level.
Another one of those finishers where you could take out of nowhere.
Yeah.
You just see JBL
Even
running to the ropes, and you're like, "Oh man, here it comes!"
And it's not like it takes a while.
Yeah.
It's still split second.
Yeah. Exactly.
Right. So that is Rob's list.
And there was 10. I completed a list.
There was 10. Yes.
No clap?
The next list.
Oh yeah.
The next list is incomplete. But I don't care.
You want to go next or?
All right. Well, there's a few that I had on here that were on Rob's.
So yours will be a little shorter.
Mine will be a little shorter. The ones that were on Rob's that were also on mine are the Corkscrew, Shooting Star, Press. We have the Sweet Chin Music, Clothesline from Hell, the Power Bomb. You had the Power Bomb, right?
No, I had the Razor's Edge.
Well, a variation of the Power Bomb. And I believe that was it.
Yep.
So the rest of mine, in no particular order, we just saw it performed on Vince McMahon on Monday, the F5. Mm-hmm. All right. Again, it's not super spectacular, but from the right camera angle, it looks awesome.
And Here Comes the Pain, it's spectacular.
Right. It like
in
the way it's supposed
amazing.
it's supposed to be like a spinning tornado face plant or something.
I don't know how to.
It's supposed to land you on your face.
Yeah.
It's a face buster, even though they almost never land on their face. They always usually land on their side or their back. But I have seen some of
when he first started doing it, a lot of them, most of the time, hit their face.
Yeah.
But later on, it kind of didn't matter anymore.
Yeah, it just.
I have to cut you short. Breaking news out of the newsroom.
Oh my gosh, we already said
El
you're
Generico
a
has signed with WWE and will be debuting NXT sometime next month.
Okay, well, that was already confirmed.
No, he had to do what Cassius Ohno had to do the physical and the drug test.
He was signed. Okay.
Hey, it's just
the breaking news
right
is
now.
that he's going to debut in a month.
Yes.
But it's not breaking that it'll be NXT. Since it's their development territory.
Like I said, just be nice. He's not going to be debuting on NXT next month.
It's gonna mess up my roster.
Sorry. So, continue. Just wanted to put that out.
My roster!
I don't even want to do it anymore.
I could have waited.
Well, the F5, again, I liked it. It's a new thing. A lot of people compare it with the Attitude Adjustment, but I really don't see the comparison. There was one.
It's just they both start off on their shoulders.
Right. There was one F5 which was pretty terrible. It was on the Big Show, and it basically was an attitude adjustment.
Mm. Oh. But I've seen him also do it on Big Show. And
no, he did. He's done it twice.
Was that when they were feuding?
There was There was one moment where he did. Basically, it was an attitude adjustment to the Big Show, and that was the only one that he didn't hit very well on him. So because I remember Survivor Series 2002, he hit a perfect one on the Big Show.
Yeah.
And as far as I know, that was the first time he did an F5 on the Big Show.
So he never turned him.
No, he has in the past, but in that one that I'm talking about, he didn't turn him.
Okay.
He didn't turn him.
I got
But they called it an F5 and all that. Then we had a few other people try the F5. I believe at one point Matt Morgan tried it out.
Oh God.
And no, he did it.
TNA or
no, this was in WWE. Okay. This is when he had the stuttering.
So when he was stuttering Matt Morgan.
Yeah.
Don't we have a lot of stuttering gimmicks like Goldust?
But Goldust was different. Goldust was electrocuted.
Yes.
And so for some reason was continually being electrocuted. Yes. Whereas Matt Morgan just had a stutter.
Right.
Wow.
That was just.
it was Evolution that electrocuted Goldust, right?
I think so because
they knocked him into. All right, so yeah, and I think even Big Show once a couple times pulled out the F5, but it has to be done by Brock Lesnar.
I think the only time they'll do it is if they're during the feud with Brock Lesnar was probably when he did it.
The way he does it too, he sells the move himself as well. Just the intensity he does it with.
Brock Lesnar.
The way he pops up right after he does it, I love it. Next, I have the powerbomb, and I was deciding how I should put this in, if I should include the sit-down powerbomb or not, as a variation of it.
The Batista bomb that people would know of.
Right, I would put the Batista bomb.
The Karma bomb.
The Karma bomb.
The Awesome bomb, I think.
There's a lot of different types. Yeah. So basically, sit-down powerbomb. But I also have a normal powerbomb up there. Most notably, the jackknife powerbomb. I did like it.
The release powerbomb?
Yeah. I just thought that Kevin Nash, perfect guy to do the powerbomb.
Big guy.
Big guy.
Big guy should use powerbombs.
I always feel like that legitimizes it.
Yeah.
Because you're falling from a higher distance. Again, it's what's the difference between 6'3" and 7 inches, right?
Yeah.
But not a big deal, but it does make a difference in terms of just believability. Like when Chris Jericho, I believe he did it was Kurt Angle doing the powerbomb to Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio tried a Hurricane Rana.
It could have been Jericho.
No,
it could have been both of them.
It might have been, but I do remember once Kurt Angle had a heel turn. He started attacking Eddie Guerrero. Rey Mysterio tried to come out for the save, tried a Hurricane Rana, but Angle countered it into a powerbomb. Good looking powerbomb, but Kurt Angle's not the tallest guy out there. And I just feel like it looks better when either a tall guy's doing it or just a big guy like a Batista or something. It makes it look more impactful.
But how many reversals are there for a Hurricane Rana? It's basically the powerbomb.
Hurricane Rana. What do you mean? Yeah, it works. But again, because what Angle did was he didn't go around for the Hurricane Rana.
Yeah.
He just he caught Rey Mysterio, brought him back up, and did a powerbomb. So, and I love Kurt Angle.
Yeah.
But I can't see him doing a powerbomb.
Yeah.
That's just it. Also, I have the Diamond Cutter.
Mm-hmm. Not the RKO.
Not the RKO. Well, the RKO
is the same one.
Can potentially be the same because it is basically the same. I believe the Diamond Cutter is 2 hands, and RKO is 1. Is that the case?
I think they're the same move.
I don't know. Whatever.
The only one that I can say was different was the Bubba Cutter.
Okay, the Bubba Cutter.
Yeah, his wasn't anywhere like theirs.
All right. Well, again, this is another one of those cases where it's because you can take it from. It can come out of nowhere.
Yeah.
That's how they sell Randy Orton's all the time.
Yeah.
Even though everybody sees it coming.
Yeah, we see it for like 10 seconds.
Out of nowhere. They might as well just put it in the game. That should be the name of the finisher. RKO out of nowhere. Just put it in there. Why don't you?
Yeah.
Every freaking time. And what does he say before? Randy Orton's hearing voices?
Yeah.
Oh, goodness. Not my favorite, but I gotta put that in there. Another one that I have in here is different from the other ones in that it doesn't take super long to set up, but I can understand why Rob doesn't have it on his list.
We discussed it.
We discussed it before. We have different opinions on this one, and it's reasonable. I actually totally get why you didn't put it on your list. It's the Canadian Destroyer. The reason I have it on my list.
So pretty.
It's a beautiful move.
Gorgeous.
When the first time I saw it,
Yes.
my jaw hit the floor because I had never seen anything like it. And
like
the first time I saw it,
the corkscrew,
right?
Shooting star.
The first time I saw the Canadian Destroyer was in TNA.
Yeah. That's pretty much where you're gonna see it,
right? And it legitimized. And I believe Trevor Murdoch tried. Reportedly, he tried it once and failed.
Yeah, he had a finisher that you could tell was supposed to be the Canadian Destroyer, but he could not hit the move.
But was it the guy he was up against?
It was both.
It was both.
Because it takes.
That's the thing. That's the thing about the Canadian Destroyer.
Every finisher takes two people. Right. Unless it's like
except for the clothesline to hell. The clothesline to hell could be. I think JBO can hit that without help from the other.
The tag team finishers. It takes two people to take a finisher.
Right.
Person doing it, the person taking it.
But what I'm saying here is, for the Canadian Destroyer to look as good as it can look, it has to be done right by both people.
By both people. Trevor Murdoch, I don't care who you put him up with. Mm-hmm. He's not hitting the Canadian Destroyer.
No. There were reports that he could do it, but as of right now, I have yet to see any proof.
Another thing is, he could have possibly done it in the Indies or before he was in WWE.
Right.
He probably wasn't as big and redneck looking as his gimmick in the WWE. So, put on the weight, can't do the same things you used to. I'm not saying he could never do it, just not in the WWE.
Yeah, I just haven't seen it. I would like to see him do it. I'd like to see him do it with that face that he always has, where it looks like he's smelling something bad. You know?
Because apparently the guy that taught P.D. Williams the Canadian Destroyer, not the smallest guy.
Right. Right.
You see a picture of the guy who taught him it, you think,
well, that's
Did he
really?
Did he really?
You probably past his prime.
Yeah.
But again, that's the reason you don't have the Canadian Destroyer on your list, is because everything has to go right in order for it to.
The stars have to align. It comes down to who's taking the move.
Right.
Definitely.
But when it is done well,
Scott Steiner's not taking the.
No, Scott Steiner cannot ever be. Yeah, you can't. There's just some people you can't do it to.
Yeah.
Like Big Show, you probably can't do it to him.
Yeah.
Or Great Khali.
Yeah.
Then I have the sharpshooter. I was wondering if I should put this in or not, because it does take a bit of time to lock it in. But the reason I have it on here, it has to be done by Bret Hart.
It has.
It has to. It has been done.
It has to be done by Bret Hart in the 90s.
Right. Because we have seen other people do it. We've seen The Rock do it. We've seen Sting do it. I think
Shawn Michaels,
Chris Benoit.
Well, who's that?
Come on. That joke is never funny.
It is.
It's never funny.
What should I say? It's Steven Richards then.
Is that the joke?
Apparently, for some reason, Chris Benoit is sometimes replaced by Steven Richards.
I don't get it.
Is there a reason for that?
I don't know. Or Pegasus.
Comment. Comment. If you know, we want to know.
We're not gonna.
What the joke?
We're not getting comments, but I'll still say it.
Hey, we've gotten comments.
But yeah, because Bret Hart's sharpshooter actually worked, so that's why it has to be the Bret Hart sharpshooter.
Well, Benoit used it a couple times to finish matches.
He used it as
He would use it as a finisher.
Yeah, he did. He used it once, and the one time I remember it working was it was a triple threat between Triple H and Shawn Michaels. This is a rematch for WrestleMania 20, and apparently some people see it as retribution for the Montreal Screwjob, because this happened in Canada.
Oh.
And Shawn Michaels tapped out to it.
Oh.
So, just saying.
I don't know, maybe.
And then, I put this lower on the list. This isn't my number one. Please, this is not my number one.
You mean higher? You put it higher on the list.
No, because I don't want people to think that this is my number one, because WWE always puts it as their number one. Anything this guy does, anything this guy does is number one on WWE's list. The Stone Cold Stunner. It's not my number one. It's probably not my top 5, but it's a good finisher.
I didn't put it on because I wanted to go against it.
Right.
Because it sucks. The movie's garbage.
I mean, if people do listen
Stone
to
Cold
this,
sucked.
People are gonna wonder why we didn't add one finisher.
So you would understand why people compare Stone Cold to CM Punk, because you think CM Punk's incredibly boring.
Yeah,
and you think Stone Cold.
I don't know what people see in either.
So you obviously don't want to see.
Obviously Stone Cold is the better wrestler, but it's not saying much.
Okay, is that your?
They're both terrible.
Are you done?
Yeah.
Are you done?
Right.
That's why you had him up against other people that could talk.
Right.
So out of
like The Rock.
Out of your guys'
list, but he's garbage too. This is a little bit higher.
Shut up. Out of your guys' list.
What are you talking about? You're trying to censor me because John Cena is the best wrestler that's ever lived?
Right.
I'm gonna get so much hate on this show.
After Hogan?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh god.
You need to check yourself.
No, I need to get a new co-host. That's the problem. Replacements. We matched. I get my list to your guys' list. We matched like 8.
Hey.
Okay.
The Diamond Cutter was my 10.
Okay.
I like Kevin Nash's jackknife powerbomb better than Batista's sit-down powerbomb
Because he just moves. There's 2 different.
He
power
just
bombs.
will release you.
Yes.
Right.
From the height, and he's
the
like
rafters.
6 foot. And
He's like almost 7.
Mm-hmm.
He's far beyond.
According
6.
to WWE, it's 7 though.
Yeah.
Because we all know WWE gives the correct stats.
Yes.
Next, Razor's Edge. Macho Man elbow drop. The clothesline from hell. You guys didn't add this to the list, but I did. Jake Roberts' DDT.
Okay.
He invented, like I wouldn't say he started the DDT.
There's conflicting stories whether who did it first, him or I can't remember the guy's name from Japan. I think it was Japan. Jake says he did it first. Other people say this other guy did it.
It's what started it.
He innovated it.
Yeah,
certainly.
It was a cool move at the time. For the F5. Can't say anything bad about Brock Lesnar. I did not see this guy.
Well, you can't say a few bad things.
Yes, you can say.
But his F5 is great.
The Rock Bottom I put on the list. You guys did not put it on the list.
Well, this was
I had it.
Yours.
I had it on mine, and it just got edged out by the sit down powerbomb.
Okay.
Because I felt like I felt the sit down powerbomb was different enough from the jackknife powerbomb to include it.
Yeah.
My second's the Stunner, which is not number 1, and my number 1 is the Sweet Chin Music, because it's pulled out of nowhere. So we pretty much matched on almost everything.
We had 2 other people going before you.
That's fine. That's fine. Now there's 2 finishers that we did not include, which are, if people ask why.
Is this on your list?
No, not even on the list.
Alright.
The Tombstone and the Pedigree.
Oh, well, Triple H sucks, so none of his moves are ever going to be on my list.
Well, what do you call him, though? What's his real name?
Triple Politics.
Oh, I didn't come up with that, though. King of the Smarks came up with that.
King of the Smarks came up with that.
Politics.
Triple Politics and
Triple
Kenta 2
Politics.
for
Kenta 2
Punk.
for Punk.
For what?
For Punk, he was Kenta 2 because he used the go to sleep.
Oh, okay.
And
Kenta uses it. But Punk's always put it out there. It's a tribute move, so...
Also,
but Smarks have to go out there and
King of the
say,
Smarks.
hey, I know this.
I know this.
Yeah. Look at me. I know it. I know who else does that move.
King of the Smarks.
And also the Tombstone.
The Tombstone, we didn't put it on there because...
It's just because
I mean, granted, our moves were very specific to characters as well, but we just didn't think that it was on there just because... I mean, other wrestlers have done it. And
sometimes he does it. He pulls out where he jumps, and it's pretty cool. Like
he doesn't do that anymore.
He doesn't do that anymore.
The last time was Shawn Michaels.
Shawn Michaels, and we thought he killed him. He's done. He's dead.
Yeah, he's definitely retired now.
But it
don't hate.
It doesn't really have that impact.
No, you're right.
And nowadays, you just see sometimes it just doesn't look as good as it used to. I guess because they're protecting the wrestlers so much that they do give them more of a space between the head and the mat. Where it doesn't look as good as it used to.
So that
essentially it's just it's a pile driver, but other way around.
Yeah,
pretty much. So that's the top 10 finishers. I thought it was pretty good. Pretty good list for all of us, pretty much. I mean, we almost had the same almost.
Right.
A couple of differences here or there, but all in all, a good list. Next, we have the top 10 feuds. Now, I think we all went different here.
No, we have I think that we at least share 3.
Right.
Who wants to start off?
Or 2. We at least share 2.
Mine's short. Rob, you want to start off since yours is short?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'll let you go first because I know you're going to take out a couple of mine.
Okay.
You'll say them and then I won't have to say them later.
All right. Again, this list, I really got to start putting them in order. But I also have to stop being ambushed by these lists.
Yes. But we should say it. We'll blow up his spot again. Getting these lists to make last minute.
I'm sorry, guys.
All right.
Last minute things happen.
No.
All right.
Yeah, when you're dealing with John.
So I do have these feuds. There were some honorable mentions. Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior, in WCW.
Oh God! Stop it!
Hornswoggle and Chavo Guerrero.
Oh God! This is not true.
We have Sheamus and Alberto Del Rio.
Stop it! You're killing the... stop it. Just stop it.
The Big Show and Matt Morgan.
Oh, God. Why are you doing this?
Michael Cole and Jerry Lawler.
We're losing subscribers.
Alright.
Stop.
Alright, so.
It was a nice list.
It was, right? I thought it was pretty good.
I can see why.
Maybe a prelude to a future worst feuds of all time.
You've just established them.
Yeah,
I've given you some already, so. Alright, so, again, this is in no particular order, but I am fairly sure that even if I could put them in order, it would be something like this. This is close to being in order. One feud that I did like, maybe not too many people did enjoy it, but I thought it was okay, was the Cena Edge feud. This was after Cena's seemingly eternal run as WWE champion.
It's gonna come back.
It's gonna come back.
It's coming. I'm telling you.
You're rooting for it.
It's coming back. This time I'm rooting for it. This time I'm not gonna make the same mistake twice. Cena being champion and me rooting against him at that time was probably the unhappiest moments of my life. Not again. Not going through that again. But no, the Cena Edge feud I believe was really good because it started off in a way that was fairly new. It was the first time the Money in the Bank match clause was used because Edge was the first winner, and he cashed it in at the end of Elimination Chamber. This was pretty much a new way to start a feud between the two, who I've never feuded before, I don't think.
I don't think they were on the same shows.
No, I don't think they were.
Because I think Cena had recently gone to Raw.
No, I think he'd been in Raw for a while. I do remember that. And one of the reasons...
because Batista and him switched places.
Right.
I think the year before. So, I mean, he was there for a couple months.
Well, the way I remember it was, after Cena was done with JBL, with his feud with JBL for the title, he moved over to Raw. There he feuded with Chris Jericho, Kurt Angle, everybody, and beat freaking everybody. Which could be a reason I have this on my list, because I was just so elated when Cena was finally beaten.
Yeah,
finally. But the feud that followed was pretty good. They had some very memorable matches, which is ironic because, you know, the Cena can't wrestle chants, yet he put on some really good ones. We had, you know, I guess Edge's first title run was pretty short. I didn't like that. That's the one thing of the feud that I didn't like. I didn't like that they gave it back to Cena.
And that it took him 2 spears to put Cena down.
Yes, it did.
After a grueling Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, which he inexplicably won because Carlito turned on Chris Masters for no reason, but whatever.
Makes no sense.
All in all, I think it's a pretty good feud. If you look back at that, especially with the feuds we have nowadays, it is a gem. It is pretty good. In a time in WWE where it was declining, that was one feud that was still it was fairly interesting.
You know what I think they should do in WWE? They like to put out DVDs and documentaries and stuff. Why not put out DVDs for specific feuds?
Nice
pretty much any feud they'll have.
They started that already with Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart.
Mm-hmm.
But that was more of a documentary, I think, because everybody knows that. Everybody knows that happened.
But it's nice to see, maybe like...
Well, we do have the greatest feud of all time on record being turned into a Blu-ray. Rock Cena.
Oh, God.
Once in a lifetime.
But even that.
Twice in 2 years.
Because everyone knows it'll never happen again. Yeah. Right?
Right. Wink, wink.
But you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That sold, I'm assuming, very well.
Mm-hmm.
It did.
I'm not going to buy it.
Right. I saw it. So.
We see that.
But I could see why people would buy it.
Mm-hmm.
I think they should put more of them out.
They should. Because there are certainly better feuds than The Rock and John Cena.
Yeah.
And I feel like some of these on the list are... Maybe this one deserves one. I don't know. Brock Lesnar and Kurt Angle. I didn't put this higher on the list because it was a fairly long feud, but I feel like more stuff happened outside the ring than inside. The reason I loved it so much was because the matches were phenomenal. And that tends to happen when you have two legitimate competitors in the ring. Nothing was, people, wrestling's fake. There's nothing really that fake about Brock Lesnar and Kurt Angle. I'm sure if you went up against them, if a Smart tried to tell Brock Lesnar, hey, you suck, that Smart's not breathing.
F5.
No, not even F5. Maybe break his arm. But just the intensity that those two brought.
You could powerbomb.
Powerbomb, right?
Like Hardcore Holly.
Poor Hardcore Holly.
But no, this was an interesting feud in that there wasn't a lot of time where... The first time they feuded, Angle was the heel, Brock Lesnar was the face. Mm-hmm. Then not much time passed, and they reversed roles. And I thought that was pretty interesting. It was very interesting to see how different they were as characters, but facing the same guy. They essentially switched roles. They had some funny moments where I believe Kurt Angle brought in his brother as a decoy at one point.
Yeah, I remember that.
You had a great match at WrestleMania, which is even greater if you know the story behind it. If you've seen the Mania of WrestleMania, in that it was a potentially life-threatening thing for Kurt Angle, and that his neck was in bad shape. And then we also had an Iron Man match between the two on Smackdown, if you could believe that. Kurt Angle versus Brock Lesnar. It wasn't like HBK Bret Hart. They each had 5 falls, I think, and Brock Lesnar came out first. That was I was shocked by it because I thought Angle would retain, and that culminated. It kind of ended in an anticlimactic way at Survivor Series, Team Angle versus Team Lesnar. It could have been done better, but I guess that's why it's so low on the list, because I didn't like the way it ended. You don't end the feud like that in a Survivor Series elimination match.
Yeah.
You just don't.
Yeah.
That was a mistake, I believe, on their part. Another one that I have is another feud involving John Cena, this time with Batista. This is one feud that I have on here because it was one of the few times where an established John Cena played the role of the underdog. It had been a while since Cena was the underdog. Nobody bought him as an underdog. But against Batista, it was believable because Batista himself, at one point, was one of the 2 faces of the company.
Yeah.
He himself had a long reign as champion. He himself was pushed almost simultaneously with John Cena.
They almost had a mirroring of careers.
They both won their first heavyweight titles at WrestleMania, and after that, they just kept going. They built them up. Batista decided they went heel with Batista. Cena stayed face. Surprise, surprise. And there was one moment. Interestingly enough, this feud essentially started with a legitimate injury.
Yeah.
Because Batista did powerbomb Cena off the top rope, was it?
Yeah, he was going for the leg drop.
Yeah, something like that.
Batista caught him in the powerbomb.
Yeah, he put him down, and Cena had a disc, a slip disc or something.
I think
like
so.
that.
Yeah.
So they had to repair that. Cena came back, and essentially started feuding with Batista a little later on. The matches weren't bad, good enough.
Yeah.
But considering who's wrestling, John Cena and Batista, you wouldn't think they'd had that good a match, but they did.
And it was interesting because you also had the feeling behind it, going into the match, is that, well, he's injured him before, he can do it again.
Right, and they played off of that.
Yes, and at any moment, Cena could be put on the shelf again, or...
Exactly. They took a legitimate thing where Cena was out of commission for a while, and they turned it into a storyline. I thought that was very good on their part.
Yeah.
I did like... if I'm not mistaken, the feud ended with Batista quitting, was it?
I quit!
But again, I thought it was really well done. Even the Last Man Standing match, the first time duct tape was used in a Last Man Standing match. Very creative, and I think that was a good storyline. Again, it was in a time where WWE wasn't exactly putting out its best work, but you did have something to look forward to, whether you hated both of them or not. They did have a good feud. After that, I guess I would put in Y2J and HBK, Chris Jericho and Shawn Michaels.
The second time.
This they
is
had
also
2 feuds.
on my list.
Yeah.
I believe it might be on John's.
Okay.
What?
So if you want to jump in there and put something in there...
No, I'll listen to you.
Again, we had the first feud with Y2J and HBK right before WrestleMania 19. That's not the one that's on this list.
No.
Because
not where he gets kicked in the junk.
Right. No, because that was the storyline where Jericho was looking up to Shawn Michaels, he meets him, and actually wants to replace him or whatever. The Chris Jericho-Shawn Michaels feud of not too long ago
branched out from a different feud.
Yeah.
Involving HBK.
Very interesting the way it
Yes.
started.
Yes.
And Rob pointed this out to me. Because I just said, I like this feud, and then Rob reminded me how it started.
Yeah.
And there's quite a bunch of other people involved.
It depends on how you look at it. You
Right.
could say it started here or there.
Well, where would you say...
the events that led up to it.
Right.
I guess if you're just talking about this specific feud, not everything that led up to it, it was between him and Batista.
Right. It started off with, oddly enough, it did start off with Ric Flair's retirement.
It did.
Right?
That's what started the feud with him and Batista.
Yeah.
Batista was mad because he retired Ric Flair.
Mm-hmm.
His like bestest friend in the whole wide world.
So he upset with Shawn Michaels.
Yeah.
And he had a match with Batista, and I believe he cheated in some way.
He feigned a knee injury
Right.
during the match, and then while he was getting checked out, he switched to music, Batista, and pinned him.
Right.
Batista felt cheated,
Mm-hmm.
and
then at some point in between that moment and the highlight reel, Jericho got Sweet Chin Music. And then we had another highlight reel.
Because Jericho knew that he was saying he was actually injured, that it wasn't fake.
Okay. Yeah, Shawn Michaels was trying
to... You can see it in his eyes that he's not completely faking it.
Right. And Jericho was saying something along the lines of that if Jericho did something like that, he would have been called out on it. You know? Shawn Michaels, just because he's Shawn Michaels, gets special treatment from the fans. You know? This storyline-wise, but, you know, it's legitimate as well.
Yeah.
It is. This culminated in Jericho attacking Shawn Michaels in the highlight reel, throwing him into a TV, and Glass getting into Shawn Michaels' eye, kayfabe.
That's pretty cool, though.
Yeah, and they had a brutal match.
Yeah.
What was the match? I forget what the stipulation was. It was just a regular match, I think.
Yeah.
And
there was a series of matches.
Yeah, but there was just one match where Jericho went after that eye.
He just kept going after it.
Just going after it, bloodied the crap out of Shawn Michaels. It was, I mean, you know wrestling is, again, nobody's really getting hurt, but this was a bit hard to watch, I guess. So, because how often do you see Shawn Michaels, you know, dominated that badly in a match, right? So, you know, just very well done feud, obviously. Shawn Michaels came back and all that stuff. Overall, well done. Both guys great on the mic, great in the ring. Yeah, just good job on both parts. Then I have Shawn Michaels and the Undertaker. They've met every now and then, you know. I mean, it's tough to even say if they really had a feud that everyone concentrated on.
1997 through 1998.
Right. That's the one I'm talking about. And I could include the last one with the retirement match. But again, I don't think that lasted that long.
But also,
it wasn't really a feud.
Right. It was just, let me prove myself against you, and he failed.
Yeah.
So.
Twice.
But again, this was...
back then they feuded, though.
Yeah. And the matches were great. Both guys in their prime. I would say, you know, the WrestleMania 25 match, the first one, the reason it was so good is because both guys are past their prime.
Yeah.
And it was still that good.
Yes.
It was still that good.
Yes.
Unbelievable.
Yes.
But, you know, if you would go back into those days, you would see where that chemistry comes from because they have had good matches in the past. Apparently, Undertaker is responsible for stealing Shawn Michaels' smile.
Yep.
By throwing him over the casket.
The back injury.
Yeah, the back injury.
The freak accident.
Then, of course, we have one of John's favorite matches, the Hell in a Cell match.
Oh, man. Hell in a Cell, Bad Blood. Oof.
Bad Blood. If I'm not mistaken, that was the debut of the Hell in a Cell, right?
Yes, it was.
So, again, it culminated in something pretty revolutionary. I think one for the record books, seeing as how both are Hall of Famers. I guess
One's not a Hall of Famer yet.
Not technically, but I wonder if he'll make it in. Maybe not.
And I wonder who will.
Yeah.
Induct.
We'll see.
It's gotta be oh yes.
Goodness.
It's gotta be him.
All right.
Gotta be him.
So that's 4, and I'm happy with that order. The next 6 though, I have trouble putting in order, because I really don't even know which one should come next. Yeah. Well, yeah. Excuse me. The next 5, because I did. I'm like eliminating them the way I'm looking. I think I'm gonna have to put after that. I'll put the pinnacle of the tag team division, which is what we call it.
Yes, it's
Hardy Boys.
That's on your list, John.
Yes, the Hardy Boys versus the Dudley Boys versus Edge and Christian. I doubt you will ever see this much concentration put on the tag team division ever again.
It was so great,
and only with 3 tag teams.
I know.
Yeah.
Like now we have a lot more, but who cares?
Yeah, I mean, the only one from today that I can put back then is the Primetime Players because of Titus O'Neil. He would have fit perfect into this feud. I just got to look that.
What about Bo Dallas?
He's not in a tag team.
He's not in a tag team.
Okay, we'll make him in a tag team division.
No. Okay.
No.
Well, no, all kidding aside, and I wasn't kidding.
And I wasn't.
Amazing. The funny thing about these three tag teams is they pretty much have each main eventer. Edge was a main eventer from Edge and Christian. Jeff Hardy, I guess, is a main eventer now.
You know what's funny?
Bully Ray, I would say, is a main eventer. He's part of a big storyline.
You know what's funny when you say about those tag teams? Look what each have gone their separate ways. Edge, World Heavyweight Championship. Christian, nowhere. Sorry, Christian.
Well, Edge was also WWE champion.
No, Christian has gone somewhere. He's gone to the injured reserve.
Injured reserve. Was the World Heavyweight champion for a day and lost it on Smackdown.
And he was the champion in TNA.
No, but didn't he wasn't there a point where he regained the title against Randy Orton?
No, I don't.
No, I think he got it back for like a moment.
All the smarks went nuts.
Well, they were so blinded by it.
What
happened was there was I'm almost 100% sure that Christian won it at some point. Most people didn't notice because they were busy hearing this.
It's true. The moment it happened, it's months of this.
The moment they hit the dirt sheets, that's what I heard. Like I heard it even before I hit the dirt sheets, and I'm like, what? Why is everyone whining?
Yeah.
And I can understand why they're getting upset, but I thought it was premature. Ultimately, they were right because Christian did get the shaft.
Yes.
But
I want to bring up another one, as in Jeff Hardy and Matt Hardy. Jeff Hardy, World Heavyweight title. Fat Hardy out of the company.
He's out of everything.
Out of everything.
And he never became, a big name champion.
No. He was ECW champion.
ECW champion.
And he feuded with Mark Henry.
And Mark Henry. Fat Mark Henry.
But like Edge and Christian, you could say he got shafted, which he totally did.
Mm-hmm.
He was champion though.
Yeah.
He was champion in TNA.
Which is great fun, but what
He had put on really good matches there.
He put on really good. Well, what did he do?
What, in TNA?
He was the champion. Big whoop did he do? But Edge at least carried. Edge was the title holder for a couple of months, and Christian.
Christian should have never gotten his haircut.
2-3 months. Tops in TNA, maybe 4, if I remember correctly. And then held the World Heavyweight title for a day. So you can't say he used the title in a storyline because...
No, but he still won it.
He still won it.
Look at the papers. Look at the books. He's there.
No, he still won. I'm saying that. But storyline-wise, there was no story to it.
What, in TNA or in WE?
WE.
Well,
he just won the title. In TNA, I think he held it for like 4 or 5 months.
Okay.
If I'm correct. But, once again...
But he was still champion.
He was still champion.
There's 2 guys out of this tag team. Out of these 3 tag teams, there's 2 guys who haven't.
I know, Bubba Ray and Devon.
No.
No, well
Bubba Ray's been champion, hasn't he?
He's been pushed.
TNA?
He's been pushed. He's getting.
I don't know if he's gotten the title yet, but
no.
I can't see
him.
He's
main eventing.
Yeah, I can't see him eventually getting a title shot.
You can't say that.
Remember, we do remember because we were watching a shoot with Team 3D, and there was a moment where Bubba Ray was facing Triple H, and he dropped the Golden Child at that time.
Right.
Triple H was the poster boy, Golden Child, and all that kind of stuff. And, done. Right there, he was done. And the only reason why that happened, because something happened in his right arm. Like, it just went. And he dropped Triple H on his head. So, once that happened...
That's sort of a big deal, getting dropped on your head, though.
Yeah, that is...
Once that happened, next week they had the title match. That was it. Triple H won.
But still, I'm saying WE TNA, he's still main eventing.
No, that's fine.
You can't say that necessarily for Devon. At first, I thought he was going to be the leader of
and he's not.
Aces and Aces. Apparently, he's not. And Matt Hardy never made it either.
Right.
Matt Hardy was the guy that I picked from that tag team to be the main eventer guy.
Wrong. Wrong.
I do have that tendency to pick the wrong guy.
That's fine.
I see something in him that nobody else does.
People make mistakes.
Well, but sometimes sometimes it isn't fair though.
Yeah.
Because sometimes the least talented person of that team does get the push, and you don't know why.
Yeah.
Like the first one I think of is Miz and Morrison. Morrison outclasses Miz.
Yeah.
In every way, except for maybe Mike.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
And it's just sad when WWE feels that your mic work is more important than what's being done in the ring, when that's what everyone's paying to see.
Yep.
And
nobody's paying to hear somebody
promo.
talk.
And that's the thing is, Matt Hardy at the time was better on the mic than Jeff.
Yeah, I don't even remember.
He was a better technical wrestler than Jeff.
Oh, definitely.
But it's just because people like to see that crazy guy possibly get hurt, and that's why Jeff made it. He made it in the WWE as champion after making it in TNA.
And he's the champion in TNA now.
Yeah.
So continue
He has his face on the belt.
Yeah, I know.
Right.
It's ridiculous.
So, yeah, a good discussion there because I think we all have it on our list.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
So, next I have Rock and Mankind. This is a feud that I found funny, but, you know, it was well, that's a bad way to put it. It was a very good feud that also had its funny moments. That's how I should
definitely.
Because just The Rock as a heel, I believe, was that so entertaining.
He's gold as a heel.
It was hilarious, just everything he said. Because sometimes you just couldn't disagree with what he was saying. A lot of times you go down, he would say the truth, and you're like, so annoying, but he's hilarious. Like, you hate him, but he makes you laugh.
Yes.
And I thought one of the funniest moments, and it's funny because I wasn't a big fan of the empty arena match, but I feel like that match kind of personifies that feud. Because you hear the trash talk during the match.
I told you you'd like that match.
I'm not saying I like the premise of the match, but I like the way it was done. You know? I liked hearing The Rock trash talk during the wrestling
That's basically
match.
the reason to watch it is for the trash talk.
Yeah, you gotta. It's
not
it's
so much
not
the
same.
wrestling aspect. It's just
Right, because wrestling wise, it was silly. You know, it was food in the face, all that stuff.
Stove.
And being pinned with a forklift. There's everything about that thing was silly, but it was entertaining to watch. It's not like those two ever failed in the ring. I always felt like those two had awesome chemistry, which is funny because you look at The Rock, he's in prime condition. You know, look for someone else in better shape than The Rock. And then you look at his opponent in Mankind, and you're just like, I see that guy all the time. Every time I'm cashier at like the liquor store or something, he always walks in. He's nothing special to the naked eye.
Yeah.
But when he's in a match with, let's say, The Rock, or even his matches with Edge and Randy Orton, he brings something else to the table. In that he's willing to go the extra mile, he's willing to take that extra risk. He's willing to make it look that much more legitimate than anyone else. You know? These days you see someone completely cover up their face when you throw them into the steel steps. Mankind still goes knee first into the steel steps. And I feel like just both guys really worked well with each other. What was the match where... The I Quit match. Another one.
Yeah.
Where something pretty funny happened where I believe The Rock had a recording of Mankind saying I quit.
Yeah.
Alright, come on. That's brilliant. Like, it could be also WWE Creative doing that stuff. But I felt like it worked that much better because of these two people. And I think this is The Rock at his best, to be honest. When he's feuding with Mankind. Oddly enough, I just realized that I don't have Rock Austin on my list. Do you guys?
I do.
You do? Okay. Because I feel like I feel like that got lost in the mix.
It did.
And I would have that on my list. I guess I would edge out Edge and Cena to put Rock and Austin. But I'm not going to explain it yet. I'll leave that to you.
Okay.
Next, I would probably put Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels. These top three are really difficult for me to put in an order. So maybe I just won't put it in an order.
That's fine.
Alright. Reason I felt this feud was so good, well, every reason really. If people like to say that Bret Hart wasn't good on the mic, I don't think so. I think he was plenty good. Because he's not portraying a larger-than-life character. He's portraying a real person who legitimately believes he's being screwed by the company, who feels like other people are getting favored. And for the most part, that really was Bret Hart. He was essentially being himself, but making himself more of a pessimist in character. Whereas you have Shawn Michaels, who's pretty much the polar opposite of Shawn Michaels' personality, of Bret Hart's personality. He's over the top. He's flamboyant. He just everything that Bret Hart isn't. That's what Shawn Michaels was. And that's what I felt. You're taking two guys who are completely different, putting them in the ring together, and every time they were in the ring together, they had a great match. They went in there for an hour. I didn't get bored once. John's favorite match of all time. Iron Man match, Bret Hart versus Shawn Michaels.
Some people don't. That's their opinion. I love the match. Yeah. I can watch it again. right now.
Absolutely,
no problem.
Absolutely. It was one of those matches. It had a larger than life feel when they were building up to it. Even the build up in the pay per view itself. You see the contrast in how they prepared for the Iron Man match, where you see Shawn Michaels doing this like Rocky deal where he's like
training.
He's training his butt off, made to look epic, whereas you see Bret Hart training with his father, with submission moves and all that stuff, and looking like an old guy. I think he was like jogging in the snow or something, and he looked terrible. But that's what jogging in snow is going to do to you if you've been doing it for that long.
I think if you put Eye of the Tiger.
You could have played Eye of the Tiger to Shawn Michaels and to Bret Hart. It would have looked awkward to Bret Hart because of the scenes where he's getting beat up by his father. Yeah. That's essentially what it looks like. Yeah. But there's a reason for that.
Yes.
Because Bret Hart's preparing himself for the punishment that he could possibly take in an hour-long match with Shawn Michaels. And another depth to this was that apparently, I guess this is pretty well known, they didn't like each other.
Yeah.
This, I think, always brings a whole new depth to a feud. If there's something, if you hear about a rift backstage, and they're currently in a feud, you wonder, are they going to take a legitimate shot at each other?
Yeah.
And Shawn Michaels did in a way that everyone remembers. Montreal Screwjob. I don't think I have to explain it. There's a DVD about it. Just buy it or just YouTube it.
The greatest work in wrestling history.
Yes, the greatest work because clearly everything was planned.
Yes.
Everything was planned.
Next.
Then I can go from there. I would go to McMahon Austin. Odd because
these are for the worst, right?
This is the worst feud of all time.
Right?
This is the Rob believes that Austin McMahon feud was the worst feud
thing.
Of all
it's
time.
So unbelievable.
I hate
the reason.
Who hates their boss?
The reason
Who wants to beat up their boss?
You are getting a raise tomorrow.
Everybody would get fired if they attacked their boss.
Yes. No, you're right on that.
But again, this is wrestling. This is the WWE. Obviously, I mean, come on. Dixie Carter can get sexually assaulted and she won't fire. I think she did once, right? Didn't Bobby Roode try and make out with her or something?
TNA.
Everybody knows in WWE that bosses don't fire unruly employees, and I wish real life was like that.
And another thing is,
swaggered.
No, he's going to go into it. He's going to go into it later. The reason I guess this is so high on the list, definitely not for the matches.
No,
the Austin McMahon matches weren't good.
Yeah, Austin made McMahon look terrible. We all know how good a technical wrestler McMahon is.
Yes,
he was just this
and
badass.
Austin worked McMahon.
He was this badass character that beat up his boss.
Right. This is arguably the feud that started off the Attitude Era, because this is the first time we see somebody.
Wouldn't you like to flip off your boss and?
No one wants to do that.
Everybody loves their boss.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Come on. You're talking crazy.
So, but anyway, I mean that just obviously the best part of this feud was there's many good parts of this.
The debut of Paul White.
Huh?
The debut
of Paul White. The big show.
The big slow.
No, there were many good moments, including McMahon wetting his pants.
Beer bath.
The beer bath. Stone Cold attacking McMahon in the hospital.
Ah!
You have McMahon winning the Rumble.
Stop it!
Vince McMahon winning the Royal Rumble.
Ridiculous.
McMahon did have his victories in that war.
He did. I forgot the.
And it's funny because McMahon getting one over Austin really upset people. Because that's what happens in real life. The boss always gets the final word.
Yeah. Also, you forgot the Corvette.
The Corvette, that's right. And then we had, of course, when Austin just came back for I forget which Raw anniversary it was, but he stunned the whole McMahon family. Just for the sake of stunning them. It was ridiculous.
That was kind of Linda kind of.
No, that was the best stunner of all time.
Oh God!
Rivaled only by the stunner on Donald Trump. And then my favorite feud would have to be Kane and Undertaker. I just thought it was awesome.
I can understand that.
I thought it was incredible. Because you have this one character who's already established in The Undertaker. Even, he is established now, but less so back then. Tons of Undertaker fans. And then you have a reveal that he has a brother.
Yeah.
Clearly, it's really his brother. This isn't storyline. Kane is really Undertaker's brother. Mm-hmm. And again, this is also probably something that I was a kid, but I really enjoyed the notion that they were both supernatural.
Yes. It made sense. Your brothers.
Yeah. And, I guess nowadays, you look back on it, if they tried something like that, it comes off as corny, but back then, like I said, I feel like WWE was, they worked that much more.
He did.
On
And he debuted at Hell in a Cell.
Debuted at Hell in a Cell. It was a shocking debut.
Ripped the door
with Vince McMahon's
yes.
unbelievable call. That's gotta be Kane.
That's gotta be Kane.
And then just the way they make Kane look.
No, my name is Mark. Imagine that.
But the way the way they built Kane up, made him basically indestructible, and built him up for WrestleMania. Took 3 tombstones to take him down.
Yep.
They've feuded many times since then, with Kane winning the feud, actually, the last time they went up against each other. But I'm mainly referring to the introduction of Kane.
I got you.
Paul Bearer turning on the Undertaker, bringing up a younger brother who Undertaker thought was dead.
Yes.
I believe Paul Bearer is the father of Kane.
What's interesting is the WWE never has brothers just off the bat fight.
Yeah.
They always have the same story where I absolutely, under no circumstances, will ever fight my brother. Mm-hmm. And of course they end up fighting.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's always interesting that they don't
exactly.
automatically have that thing where they'll fight, whatever.
Yeah. Usually they start as tag teams or something, and then they turn on each other.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that's kind of an overused thing. But this was something I thought was pretty cool. And every now and then, WWE goes back and revisits it. Obviously, never as good as it once was, but even their work together in the ring, they did the first Inferno match, right? They did 2, I think, against each other.
Yeah.
Right. The first time you see that, it's so fitting to have them 2.
The one was the hand got set on fire, and the other was the boot.
It was the boot, yeah.
The boot.
But again, really enjoyed it. And you also got a good tag team run out of it.
Yes.
You know? And then a reveal that was all a sham because Kane really was trying to take out the Undertaker the entire time. Say what you will about what it's become, but back then it was just that awesome.
It was. I want to do my list.
Yeah, go ahead. Mine's gonna be short.
I have honorable mentions because a lot just popped into my head. Mm-hmm. One is Trish versus Lita. That feud, the matches they had. I would say
the injuries sustained.
But they've had a good feud.
Yeah.
Match wise, they were good.
2 of the best, probably the best.
Yeah. I wouldn't say top 2, but definitely both of them would be in the top 5.
Yeah. Well, I mean, how many are there?
Yeah. Really, are there 10?
Close to maybe if we thought about it.
Yeah.
Maybe
DX
9.
versus the Nation.
Okay.
We all know DX.
He said the N-word. Do you remember?
DX versus the Nation?
Yeah. Remember he said that Brett said the N-word backstage?
Did he?
They had that storyline where they were all kind of feuding with each other. It's like, he said the N-word.
I remember that. I do remember that now. The best part of this feud...
And then the Nation just destroyed them.
The best part of this feud was the reenactment of Owen Hart. With that giant nose.
I am not a nugget.
Ms. Mark Henry.
Mark Henry.
Ms. Ark.
I love those. I love the role playing.
The
ones.
Croc.
The
Croc.
Yes, the Croc. And
Croc with the eyebrow.
Yes.
D'Lo Brown.
The mockery of the people's elbow was amazing.
What do we have for the Godfather? What did they call him?
I don't remember, but
I have to watch it again. But that was all in all a good feud.
It was.
And DX versus the Corporate Ministry.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
As HBK went to the Corporate Ministry at one point and sided with them.
Well, because Anthony was going to put that on his list, I think, DX versus the Corporation.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But we talked about it, and it didn't... I convinced him not to put it on there because at some point, DX and the Corporation were basically the same.
Right. It got kind of...
China, Triple H, Shawn Michaels, all were in the Corporation.
Right. And I was wary of putting it because... I wasn't sure if I should put
it's a good honorable mention.
It definitely is. Absolutely. It's something that I loved watching.
It is what it is. I liked it, and I think those 3 should be mentioned because...
They should definitely be mentioned.
Let's go to the top 10. We matched on 1, Cena versus Edge. You pretty much said it all. Mm-hmm. Kane versus Taker is a little low on my list.
Okay.
But...
Still there, though.
Undertaker versus Austin. Everyone forgets they feuded.
Mm-hmm.
Highway to Hell. You had Stephanie attached to the crucifix.
Yes, I remember the save.
Austin came down to save Stephanie.
This was before the reveal as to who was behind everything.
It's me, Austin. It's me.
It made no sense.
It was
Did you really
me
feel it made
all
no sense?
along.
It didn't.
But
Like, he did that to his daughter.
Everybody forgets.
This is before you knew how depraved he was.
That's amazing. The best twist of all time because it makes no sense.
And
He just comes out and then whoosh.
Everyone forgets they feuded. I mean, they had a Buried Alive match, which was good.
He was behind the kidnapping.
Yes. Great, but everyone forgets that feud happened, and it was a pretty good feud. HBK versus Triple H.
I'm sorry, I forgot about how little sense that.
No, it made no sense whatsoever.
It was a big FU to everybody.
It was. It was like,
HBK versus Triple H.
Okay.
That was gonna be on his list too.
That was a pretty good
feud.
I thought.
About it. But they just did it over and over again so much that.
That's the one thing that kept me. Yeah. Well, we'll explain why you liked the feud.
Well, just the match wise and the way Triple H is I think the time the World Heavyweight Champion. If I'm not.
For the most part, he was.
He was, and
no problem burying his friends, right?
No problem burying his friends. No problem.
What?
And Shawn Michaels had no problem being buried by a friend. But God forbid somebody else try to bury Shawn Michaels.
But the matches were
God
pretty
forbid
good.
an immortal tried to bury him.
Stop it.
Another Triple H.
You know? Stop it.
Hollywood.
An older,
okay,
bolder,
enough. I get it.
Older Triple H.
I get it. Politics. We get it. Match wise, they were
King
good.
of the Smarks.
King of the Smarks. They were good. They were good matches. Good feud all in all. Rock versus Mankind.
Well, with respect to the Triple H Shawn Michaels feud, the reason I didn't put it on there was because it was repeatedly done. Yeah, you're right.
It was repeatedly done.
Because those two have a lot of power backstage.
Yeah.
And if they want to cram a storyline down our throat, they will do it.
Yeah.
And they did it. But again, that's not to say the matches were bad.
Yeah.
No, definitely not.
They weren't entertaining. It was just.
They just kept doing it.
Rock versus Mankind, we talked about. The pinnacle of the tag team was 5. Rock versus Triple H. They feuded for the Intercontinental title.
Yeah.
And it was a pretty
The ladder match?
Damn good feud. The ladder match, I think it was at the Royal Rumble, if I'm correct.
No, it was SummerSlam.
SummerSlam?
Yeah.
Okay. It was either, I thought, Rumble or SummerSlam.
The Highway to Hell. There was a pretty good pay-per-view.
Austin versus Rock. Was this on your list?
Rock versus Austin?
Yeah.
I said that I forgot about it.
Okay, they headlined 3 WrestleManias.
Yeah, I mean, that's for me to forget about it.
Promos, off the wall. Probably one of the 2 best people that can cut a promo.
Right.
Not this Rock, the one we have.
It's a different era.
That's what we try to keep telling people. But match-wise, great promos, all that kind of stuff. Stone Cold versus Vince is my second, because come on.
Second worst, right?
Stop it. My first is Brett versus HBK, because those two hated each other.
Yeah.
And
it all started because of Shawn Michaels.
Hated each other.
It's all Shawn Michaels' fault.
Yes, it's
Shawn
all
Michaels
HBK's
is everything
fault.
to blame. That's why.
But admittedly, it was
HBK had this cocky attitude, and Brett didn't like it. So
because he was very rude.
I think so. You could see.
Yeah, he said it. They both said it. It was
like I said, the WrestleMania match, off the wall. I could watch that again over and over again. Mm-hmm. But also they've had other matches, but just the promos, what HBK was doing to Brett. This was after the Iron Man match, where DX was finally put together, and Brett called him a bunch of degenerates. You see,
and apparently, Shawn Michaels' receding hairline is in part due to Bret Hart.
What?
Apparently, you don't know about this. I guess.
I guess not.
Apparently, they had a backstage fight, and when they were being separated, Bret Hart had a fistful of Shawn Michaels' hair around this area.
Okay.
And he didn't let go, so when he was being pulled back, it ripped out. So that's why Shawn Michaels seemed to have like a bit of a losing hair thing, even though he was relatively young.
Okay.
So that is why.
All right.
Also, you had HBK do a lot of stuff to the Hart Foundation. You had him stick the Canadian flag up. He stuck it up his nose. You can't. I think you can't do that now.
I don't know what the big deal is.
I mean, a lot
That's
of people.
That's just me personally. I don't understand why people care that much about a flag. It's just a flag.
HBK sticking the Canadian flag up. I thought that was funny.
There is another place.
Just gold.
There is another place where you really can't do anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember where it was, but Jericho did it.
Brazil.
Yeah.
Brazil.
He like, stepped on it or something like that. He did something, and
got punished for it.
He got suspended and everything.
Yeah.
You couldn't
Can't
do
step
that.
on our flag. But
It was something stupid.
I thought it was a great feud all in all. Even with DX and the Hart Foundation.
Mm-hmm.
You know. Great feuds. Rob?
This is interesting. You guys both named a lot of Attitude Era stuff.
Right.
The only one on my list from that was the tag team thing. All the rest of these, relatively.
Okay. I just want to point out I want to throw one T. Do you have TNA in there or no?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
You probably have the one I'm thinking of.
Probably the one we were talking about before.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll say that one. I won't say it last, just because I don't want.
I thought it was an awesome feud in TNA.
It was.
At one point, we loved TNA. We loved it at one point, and they had some really great feuds.
I guess I'll start off with one of the last ones I wrote down. But one of my favorite feuds would be Matt and Edge.
Matt and Edge?
Yeah.
Okay.
It wasn't that long. But, everyone knew what happened with Matt, Late and Edge. Matt left. At some point, other storylines were happening. Comes back through the crowd, attacking Edge constantly, and then running to the back. Who could it be? For weeks. Right. And although I didn't like how this ended, and it ended rather quickly, from what I remember, there's just the story and the feelings behind it were there. Even if, Matt got over it and stuff, you knew he didn't.
Yeah.
And Edge completely destroyed him at every match they had.
Pretty much.
But even if you go back and watch the matches, they're still really good.
Yeah, they are. Absolutely.
So that's why that's on there. Little marker, even though it wasn't that big. But we'll have Punk and Jeff. This is in no particular order. But toward third strike of Jeff Hardy, he's leaving. And just the gimmick that Punk had already, I was behind him.
All right.
Being a fan of both Punk and Jeff, I kind of said some maybe disparaging things about him before, but he's still very entertaining.
He is.
There's a reason he was a main eventer.
Mm-hmm.
But I was just behind Punk the whole time. Everything he said is true, as far as I was concerned. About him.
Well, he did most of the talking.
Yeah. Because Jeff is not that good on the mic.
Right.
But the reason everyone's behind him is because he's them. And he's better than you.
Definitely.
But their matches were really good. Their storylines were good. Even though Punk was a heel, saying he was better than you, he still did all the generic heel things. Like, something in my eye.
Right.
And I think he kicked the ref. Got himself disqualified.
Yeah. I remember that.
But these are all, I guess, relatively short feuds, except for the last two that I'm going to say. But still good. I'd still go back and watch those. This one's the TNA one. Definitely what you were talking about. And at first I was wondering to even call it a feud. Usually feuds between one group and another group, or one person and another person. This was kind of one person versus a group. It was Joe versus the X Division.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah.
Okay. And I don't know, John, you had mentioned if you want to elaborate on it.
I loved it. I loved the matches. Their match at Unbreakable. Can't say enough. I watched it again. It's that good.
It's still really good.
It's that good. Though the finish a little odd, but it's that good. That X that just Unbreakable, I think it's 2005. Watch it again.
And have you seen this
match?
The triple threat?
The triple threat, really? Daniels, AJ Styles,
I've seen
Samoa Joe.
I think I've seen only one match.
I will send you the link.
And I don't think it even matters.
Because I saw, even the build-up that I saw to a match that was potentially going to happen was amazing. Yeah. This is the first time I caught a glimpse of Samoa Joe. Yeah. And just to see somebody like that big running around like that. Yeah. And then the other two...
That's the guy that, like you said before, you look at him...
You're not impressed.
No way.
You're not thinking anything... certainly wouldn't think he's an X Division guy.
Right.
But
he moves around.
That's when TNA actually cared about the X Division.
Yeah.
The X Division was doing better than like the heavyweights and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think that actually...
That was their main event,
Yeah.
was the X Division. Even though it's supposed to be like the Intercontinental or U.S. Championship. It's not the main... It's a title.
Yeah, no, it is.
But
it is.
It's not the main one. Even from its very beginning, it sort of was a showcase.
I think so. And it showcased, like, what a main event... Like, Daniel's the main event now. Joe's
Is he, though?
Not really, like mid-card AJ Styles, same thing.
I don't even know where AJ Styles is.
You could call him, like, he's all over the place. And it stinks, to be honest, because he should be either
he was
TNA
one of the
World
originals.
Champion. He's one of the originals. But they're treating him like dirt again.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you have a guy who can wrestle and puts on fantastic matches. Look what you're doing with the guy.
Yeah.
You know? You want to continue?
My last one... And this was... I had to emphasize that this was in no particular order. Because this match... I mean, this feud... lasted a really long time. It was not even for a really good championship. It was the ECW championship.
Was it Ezekiel Jackson versus Christian?
Stop it. I'm not even going to tell you again. It was this whole feud with Christian and William Regal. Okay. It went on forever.
Did it?
Like, even when you thought it was over, it wasn't. It wasn't over. Which ultimately, yes, led to Ezekiel Jackson becoming the last ECW champion.
Yes.
On the last ECW broadcast.
The biggest honor you could give the ECW championship. So
I don't even know what to say to that, because this is Bo Dallas caliber stuff that you're saying to me right now.
Well, look at all the stuff that was done to that title, though. I mean, giving it to...
Matt Hardy, Mark Henry.
Yeah, Vince McMahon.
And
then, if it couldn't get any worse, you just gave it to somebody that personified obscurity. Someone who just didn't matter.
But like I was saying...
he was just there for the image.
Like I was saying about putting rivalries on DVD.
Mm-hmm. That would be cool.
This one rivalry would not surprise me if it was...
It'd definitely be cool.
It has enough segments or matches to be a good 3 discs on Blu-ray.
Mm-hmm.
Documentary, if you want to even call it that.
Right.
You're right. I like that. You're right on that. I'd like to see a DVD of Feuds, which would be pretty cool. Tomorrow, I'm going to hit you guys with the top 10 dislike finishers.
So why did you say top 10 worst?
Because I wanted to save that for tomorrow. I figured we'd do
That's
the
what
best
I'm saying.
today.
Why word it that way?
Sorry. The worst for tomorrow, and the top 10 worst feuds. And I mentioned a couple. You mentioned a couple.
I don't know. I think I'm just going to stick with...
Tomorrow, I think we got main event.
Yeah.
NXT, right, Rob, or no?
I don't know if it'll be up, but main event, certainly.
Main event, NXT. We'll do more of TNA Impact. I think there was one more thing.
I think Fridays are pretty much going to end up being NXT days for me.
You want to do it? So we'll do Friday?
I think so, because from the website I see them on,
okay,
they end up being
so we'll
uploaded.
We'll do main event tomorrow. The worst feuds and the worst finishes of all time. That's going to be. We'll discuss that, and I think that'll do it
for today.
That'll do it for today. So I'm a dull boy douchebag.
Ant-Man.
And
the All American.
The real American.
The real American.
He's the real American now, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.